People say you can't make any money off a book unless you already have a big audience. Other people say you can't make money off a book at all. Maybe you sell 5,000 copies. Well, gee, doesn't it make more sense to actually launch a course or offer a new service or just run some kind of marketing campaign, launch funnel, whatever? Well, let me tell you something. Here in the world of big money ghostwriting, where the idea is that working with a ghostwriter is not simply an investment that, it boosts your ego a little bit. Someone else writes the book so you don't have to stare for 5 hours every morning at a blank Word document. But rather, working with a ghostwriter, a professional, celebrity ghostwriter rather, is an investment that you can expect to pay a big return. Well, what kind of big return are we talking about here? Let me introduce you to Andy Stickle.
Hey, my name's Andy Stickle, and I recently hired Josh to help me write a book to target my target audience, which is lawyers who are trying to get more clients for their law firms. So before I hired Josh, I thought that writing a book was going to be a really overwhelming experience. I looked at kind of ghostwriters, and I looked at the process of maybe writing the book myself, and it was just completely overwhelming to the point that I never actually got started. When I talked to Josh, I actually saw an ad of his on Facebook, and then I messaged him, and we went through the entire process, and he made it seem really, really easy. So I was intrigued enough to the point where I thought, okay, well, this actually might not be that much work for me, so let's give it a shot. So that's why I decided to hire him. The process of writing the book was actually really, really easy. I even said to Josh, I was actually telling my wife recently, I can't believe how easy it actually was to write a full book. The book we ended up with was almost 190 pages, I think. And basically what it came down to is Josh and I would meet once a week. We kind of go through what he'd been working on the previous week. I give him some notes, and then next week I come back and we look at the next chapter, and all the notes from the prior week had already been fixed, and all the changes and everything. All my suggestions were implemented, and it was really, really an easy process. I honestly cannot believe how easy it was to actually have this book written. And the cool part about it is that it actually is my words. It's not like basically he had to actually write for me. What happened is he basically took all my content, my ideas, and he turned it into a book that actually communicates and talks exactly the way that I do and communicates the exact message. It's really cool how it worked. Now that I have this book, I'm pretty excited because I'm about to launch a free plus shipping offer for my entire group. I'm going to run Facebook ads. I've got an entire marketing funnel, and I expect to break 7 figures this year just on book sales alone through my entire funnel. And it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for Josh, because honestly, the thing never would have actually been created because I was just way too overwhelmed before I actually even thought about writing a book, that I never would have even started writing a book. So I'm super excited about having this book finished. It's really cool to actually be able to go on Amazon and see my book and actually have a physical copy of a book with my name on it that actually looks like something that a professional author wrote. It's pretty crazy. So if you're thinking about it, if you want to write a book but you're overwhelmed, go with Josh. He did a great job, and I'm already thinking about my second book and figuring out what the topics are going to be, and no doubt it'll be Josh who writes it for me.
Damn. You're like, whoa. I had no idea that a book could produce that kind of money, even if I don't have a household name status brand right now. The wild thing about Andy's story is that it's not unusual for the type of clients that I work with. I work with authors who have a great book idea. They don't necessarily have a massive audience. They don't necessarily even have a first draft of the book written. They have something that they can start with, that they can turn into something. And together, we take this book idea, we position it towards the best, most profitable audience that there is. We find out what the smartest way to monetize this book idea is. We create multiple streams of revenue. And so when you end up working with me, I'm not giving you a Word document, a .doc file or a .pdf file. When we're done together, I literally hand you a turnkey business that's making money from day one. If you want to look into what it might look like for us to work together and turn your book idea into a money-making, profit-producing asset, in which book sales are happening while you're sleeping without you having to pour billions into ads, let's have a quick conversation. All you got to do is go over to entrepreneurswordsmith.com and you can book a time to chat with me. What we'll do is we'll talk about what are some of the smartest ways we can take your vague ideas for a book and turn them into a curiosity-provoking hook that pulls people in with all they see is the title, is the premise of the book, and they want to buy the thing. Once they want to buy the thing, then they want to get on your email list. They get on your email list, and then they buy your high-ticket offer.